That is actually a great freaking idea, Baggins. Baggins comes up with good ideas all the time. No, you have not joined midstream, but I just read the comment, and I think when we're thinking about possible sets in the future, I think it might be cool to have like maybe one person has two songs, another person has two songs, or three songs and three songs, something like that, and have a battle, which could also make it more cost effective if you're worried about money. So maybe that's a good idea, Baggins. Nice job. So I'm constantly reminded of how, at least some of you, not all of you, creative you are with your set creations. Your set ideas are really cool. So that is a possibility in the future. I'll let you guys do the work behind the scenes. If you feel like it, maybe get on the Discord, which, by the way, for those of you who are just joining for the first time, which is probably nobody, there is a Discord link in the Excel document that we have that is in the description of this video. If you go there, it's one of the tabs at the bottom, as well as the Casey Kasem's Top 40 tab, which, some news here, folks, some news here. I'm secretly, not so much secretly anymore, working on my top 80 set, or I should say list, right now. I started it yesterday, and I'm trying to start picking 40 more songs for our 80 to 40 sets. It's going to be tough. I definitely think it's going to be more tough than the first 40, which was already impossible. So, yeah, that will be coming maybe in the next couple months, depending on how fast I get it done and how much time I spend on it. So that will be another fun little side set stuff that we will do. But in the meantime, before we get into this new version set, please hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button already, so that we can possibly get some sort of algorithm exposure to get Ivy some more clicks, so that we can see a new set suggester. So Ivy has turned in her first set, even though Jason is the one who paid for it. So yeah, let's get into this set by Ivy. I am excited. I honestly have no idea, because if I remember correctly, Ivy in the chat tends to like a variety of things. She doesn't seem to be like only really heavy or only really ballady. She tends to like, if I remember correctly, a bit of a variety, which is good. So maybe her set will reflect that. We have no idea. We're just going to have to get into it and find out. But we do have the usuals in the set. Para's here. Hey, Para, do you not work on Saturdays anymore? Because if I am thinking about a couple months ago, you would have to leave at this point to go to work, and you would join by phone. Are you doing the same thing? We got Colin in the set. We've got, I'm sure Colin's not going to like anything that Ivy does, so sorry about that, Ivy, but Colin is probably the, I thought Michael Herman was the most, not, what's the word I'm looking for, picky? Yeah, I thought Michael Herman was the most picky when it came to like liking other kinds of music, but I definitely think Colin has taken the cake for that. So Colin, you have two titles, bro. Colin is the title for the most creative and best sets by far. And number two, you're the most picky, bro. You're definitely the most picky on this channel that I can think of. So we got Cucumber. Oh, welcome back, Jim. Hopefully Tori Amos is not Ivy's picks. We'll have to see about that, though. Got Adrian in the chat. Oh, Para says, though, more Saturdays. That's good. So that means tomorrow, Colin's set is tomorrow. And then Baggins' set is on Monday. And if Baggins hasn't already told you guys, you definitely need to be here on Monday, because he's really excited about his set, because Baggins turns in sets maybe once every couple months, or 3 or 4 months, maybe half a year. So I am noticing Jason's obviously, that's an interesting word, curmudgeonly. I like that word. I don't see Scott K here. So Scott K, hello, get the fuck out of bed, bro. Uh-oh, are we having, JBB is just joined with a annoying clicking sound or ticking sound that she's hearing. Has that come back? Hopefully that hasn't come back. Let us know. Okay, so Endlessor doesn't have it. Okay, good. So maybe it's just JBB's situation. Because I thought, crap, if it's coming back, I thought we fixed that. And I guess we have. All right, so we are about 10 minutes in, which is actually 5 minutes. Because remember, we have 5 minutes of lead-up time. And we are going to get into this set with no weather talk. How about that? All right, so Ivy, I am excited to hear what you got to bring for us. Okay, she has a big, like, picture. Oh, shit, was I supposed to make this picture? Huh. Was I supposed to make that picture? It says girl power. Was I supposed to make that the thumbnail? I don't think you said that. If you want me to make that thumbnail, then you're just going to have to turn in another set, Ivy. You have to tell me, because there's this big, like, picture that says girl power. But I just didn't put 2 and 2 together, probably. And I think you meant for that to be the thumbnail. But it doesn't say that, does it? Yeah, it doesn't say that. So I should have probably just guessed that. But if you do another set, I will make sure girl power is the thumbnail. My bad. So this is what she says. Back when I first started joining the stream, someone made a remark about the lack of girls in this channel. It's probably me, because there isn't any girls in this channel except for 3, maybe 4. I would say 4 that we know of. And then I'm sure there's some in the background that maybe join once in a while. For that reason, I decided we needed an infusion of female rock. Uh-oh, we got literal girl power on today. This girl power set list. I wanted to feature some bands that I don't think have been on the channel before. Does that necessarily mean that they're all girl bands, or is it just you're saying you want girl power for these bands? But we'll have to find out. So the first song is called In This Moment, and the band I think is called Adrenalize. Okay, just for future people who turn in sets, can you make sure that you put the band first and then the song? Because sometimes it really is hard to figure out which one is the band and which one is the song. So I just kind of say, like, the typical format is band and song. So just try to remember that if you can. But I'm pretty sure the song is called In This Moment, which you have first, and the band is called Adrenalize. The first song is by a band that Jason and I first discovered. Was it on your first date? As the opening act for Slipknot. Oh, okay, so I'm guessing it's going to be heavy. On their last tour. We both couldn't believe that we hadn't heard the band before, because they definitely deliver. The lead singer, Maria Brink, has a very sultry and distinctive voice that is a little different than other singers I've heard in this genre. I picked this particular song to start us off with a banger, but there's quite a few great songs on this album. Blood, released in 2012. So, does anybody else ever heard of Adrenalize? If not, here we go. Oh, sounds like Slipknot. Yeah! Oh, okay, so in this band, or in this moment is the band. All right, cool. See, I told you, sometimes it's hard.
Before we begin, let me tell you how I want it. And exactly what I need. I'm here for one drive.
Yeah, it's like I like this to be a good gym playlist song.
So come on and tell me, can you fly like you're free? 'Cause I need to feel, yeah, I need to pay. I must confess, I'm addicted to this.
Got like a
Straight through my chest, I can't deny, I die without this. Make me feel like a god, music, love, and sex. I crave excess, turn and wine into sweat, dripping down my neck. I can't deny, I die without this. Make me feel like a god, try to let him set. Get a little bit
like the lower tempo of this too.
Push a little bit harder. Pull me into the speed. So tell me, can you feel this? Come into my dream. Are you ready to awaken? Are you ready to speak?
I like that dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I need to say, I must confess, I'm addicted to this. Shove your kiss straight through my chest. I can't deny, I die without this. Make me feel like a god, music, love, and sex. I crave excess, turning one into sweat, dripping down my neck. I can't deny, I die without this. Make me feel like a god, try to let himself.
I can totally see this being like powerful live.
We have to live before we die. We're born to live before
Kind of remind, again, this is very Slipknotish in that it's like, yeah, it sounds like Slipknot there. What's up, Bryce? Bryce joined the chat.
I must confess, I'm addicted to this. Shove your kiss straight through my chest. I can't deny, I die without this. Make me feel like a god, music, love, and sex. I crave sex, turning one into sweat.
I'm trying to think if this feels, something about this feels a little too poppy for some reason for me.
Make me feel like a
I don't know. I like the beginning of it. Wow, if Colin is saying it's not bad, that's a step up. Because usually Colin's like, nah, not for me. Nah, not for me. Maybe he's holding himself back from telling us what he really thinks. Okay, so I'm glad, and I think that that is a perfect example of why I want to follow the system of saying band first, song second, because to me it looked obvious that the band was Adrenalize. So the fact that it was the opposite and the band is called In This Moment, I mean, it's fair, makes sense, but it's also, you know, sometimes hard to know which one is the band name and which one is the song name. So that is good to know that the band is first. But then again, in the future, make sure that you guys put the band first and the song second so we know. That song, I would say, I liked the energy of it at first, but it was kind of, I don't know, like something, and you guys know that I like poppy, so it's not that it's like, oh, it's because it's poppy, I don't like it, but something about it seemed too, I don't know, too like normal. I don't know, nothing different. I don't know. I might go on a playlist for Jim. It wouldn't be a song that I'm like, if it came on, I'd be like really excited. Okay, for instance, Disturbed. When we had Disturbed on here, that kind of energy, even though it's poppy and kind of the same, I really like that energy and something about that had an extra piece or two more than this did. This felt like it was something missing. I don't know how to explain it. But I'll listen to it again, and once I listen to it again, maybe I'll figure out if it's going to go on a playlist for sure. But I think it's leaning towards going on a gym playlist for me because it had enough anger energy, I guess, to put it on a gym playlist, but we'll see. All right, next song is by the band Halestorm, which I'm pretty sure Mike Portnoy played in this or something, or like I think he... or maybe he knew. I think he knows the girl singer for this. Yes, because I've seen him take a lot of pictures, and I kept seeing this band named Halestorm. I was like, who the fuck is that? And it was always a girl that I think she might be the lead singer. And he's always like, he's calling her a friend. So I guess he knows them and has been to their concerts, or maybe he filled in for them one time. I just remember seeing this band because of him. The song is called Love Bites, and in parentheses it says, so do I. Ooh, you bite what? Hopefully it's not the wiener. This next band has perhaps enjoyed the most mainstream success of all the bands I have included on this list with 16 albums. Holy crap. In their discography. The lead singer, Lizzie Hale, yes, that's the one that he always takes pictures with, is joined by her brother, RJ Hale, who plays the drums in the band. That's pretty cool. To have like your family member in the band is kind of cool. Obviously, they have to get along enough to be in a band together, which I think is cool when family members can stand each other enough to play in the band together. Wow, we just said the exact same thing. Seems a bit insane to me personally. This song is another fast-paced banger that reminds me a bit of old school metal. Okay, so this is Halestorm, Love Bites. Okay, sounds like...
Don't listen what your girlfriend says. She reads those magazines that say you failed the test. You don't have what she needs.
Ooh, I like that, Baggins. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just can't have too much pop. I gotta have some sort of progressive grunge or something in there. Harmonies. That bitch can eat her heart out. Alright.
So pale and vicious, you're foaming at the mouth. You've suffered in the darkness, I'll suck the pain right out. So come and taste the reason, I'm nothing like the
I feel like this song is kind of in the same vein as the last song. Maybe it's because it's girl singers. Maybe I'm sexist and it's coming out. Ooh, I like that.
Chews you up and spits you out. It messes with your sanity by twisting all your thoughts around.
They say it's blind, they say it waits, but every time it steals your faith. Now it's got
yeah, I guess I'm kind of on board with I don't really like the vocals that much. Maybe I am against girl singers, I don't know. Nice fill there. Let's hear this guitar solo. Hera getting on Colin's balls. Busting his balls, not sucking them. Yeah, I felt like that song was kind of in the same kind of vein as the first song. Maybe a little more driving, and I'm definitely going to say I liked one better, mostly because the vocals were not as good as the first one. But I wouldn't say they were much better. Yeah, so far, the two songs have good drive, but maybe they're just a little too poppy. And maybe actually this is good because this made me start thinking about like, do I know any girl singers that I'm like, yes, I love the sound of her voice and I think it sounds really good. Maybe when it comes to rock like this, I can't think of any singers that I really like that are girls. But again, I don't really know a ton of bands with girl singers, nor do I even know a ton of bands in general, which is why I started the whole damn channel in the first point. So here we go. This is good exposure. I mean, the other one would be Nightwish is the only other girl singer that I've heard that I know of. Oh yeah, Spirit Box, we did have that. That's right. Good reminder there. Yeah, but Ginger, we only had on here once, I think. Did we have them on here once, like a long time ago? And I would say that was not a typical girl singing because she does the growling stuff. Yeah, but like, maybe I just don't. And it's interesting because I remember there was other girls in here specifically that when we had girl singers on here, they didn't like it. And I wondered why they didn't like it. But in these two songs, the singing is not, I don't know. I don't dislike it, obviously, but I don't like it. It doesn't, I don't know, something about it just feels incongruent. But like I said, I just know this band's name, and this is the first time I've ever heard a song by them, but I do know the band's name because of Portnoy's Taking Picture. And I have told you on this channel, people, I have never bought a single thing of merch from Dream Theater or Portnoy. I don't give a shit about the people themselves that much. I don't really care. But I do follow them and see pictures here and there on Instagram, I think is where I follow them. All right, let's get into the next one. Number 3 is The Pretty Reckless. That's the band name. The Pretty Reckless, with an R. Only Love Can Save Me Now, featuring Matt Cameron, who I'm pretty sure is the drummer for this Black Hole Sun. Right? Wasn't Matt Cameron the drummer for them? Why can't I think of their name? Blanking. And Kim Thale, I think is how you say her name. First off, when I'm sure all of you guys will appreciate the background, keep in mind that the lead singer of this band, Taylor Momsen, was once Cindy Lou Who in the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch. Now, she's the badass rock band singer of the first female-fronted band to have 5 singles hit #1 on the charts. Interesting. By the way, what is Cindy Lou Who? I didn't ever see the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch, so for those of you who have, maybe you'll understand, but I have never seen that. So, Momsen cites Kurt Cobain, Joan Jett, and Robert Plant as personal influences, and I think you can definitely hear that in the music. Other songs in this album, Death by Rock and Roll, released in 2021, may showcase Momsen's voice more than this one, but I think this song delivers a good balance of vocals and musicality. Okay, interesting. So, Matt Cameron, isn't he the drummer for whatever the band that played Black Hole Sun? Why can't I think of them? Black Hole Sun. Good song. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's his name, the drummer. So this is The Pretty Reckless, Only Love Can Save Me Now, number 3. Soundgarden. Thank you, Scott. Like to start. Is that a scream? I don't mind the cover. The cover's pretty hot. Looks like Christina Aguilera.
Falling out of the sky sends a message to you and I see people crawling
No! Ah, this is copyright audio video. Shit. Seriously? Ivy, your set's getting blocked. Sorry.
From the sound, the world is spinning out. Only love can save me now. Gone, so down, lost inside.
Hopefully that video part goes away. It's just the audio.
Can save me now.
I'm gonna say, which I was gonna say before the fucking warning interrupted me. I think I like this girl's voice the best. It's got like a grittiness to it that I like better than the other two. Yeah, I really like her voice much better. Yeah, I'm definitely putting this one.
No gods or saviors, no hands of fate.
Me and Hera on the same hit.
Saved, I wanna be saved from the sound.
Yeah, this is poppy as well, but something about this for me has better energy, and I think it might be her voice.
Gone, so down, lost is all I found. Only love,
It still says copyright on the fucking video. Block it, bitch.
can save me now.
Yeah, Jean-Francois, I agree. I like the slower tempo and I like her voice. I think those are the two things that make this stand out compared to the other two songs before it. Interesting, Jason doesn't like this song. Ooh. Kurt Hammond has come into the song. Anything that has wah, I just associate with Kurt Hammond because he overuses it. Oh wait, because I said Kurt Hammond a couple times, does that mean I'm like the biggest fanboy of Kurt Hammond?
From the sound,
Ivy, I'm the driver, so I pick the music and Jason shuts his cake hole. That's not... Yeah, cake hole's not a good image. Exactly, Gummer. I love how nobody says anything when I talk about Kurt Hammond.
can save me now.
Ooh, that was cool. Bow, bow. Yeah, I definitely like this song better. I'm gonna put this song on a playlist. It's not like driving enough for a gym playlist, but this would go on my... And there's Colin. Straight in. I'm bored. This song sucks. God, I love it. But yeah, of course I'm going to talk about Portnoy the most because I've known them for 30 years. And I started the channel because at that point when I started the channel, I basically only knew a couple of bands that I listened to frequently. So the whole point of the channel was to open that. And so as it gets opened, number one, things are going to get compared to that first couple of bands or those first couple of bands a lot more because that's how I have to compare to. And now that I'm opening up, we'll compare it to other stuff, which I do in the channel many times. I'll say, oh, that sounds like Caligula's Horse, or that sounds like, oh, blah, blah, whatever. I did want to say, Para, when I saw your name, and that we agreed so far on the order of the songs on the set. I'm trying to remember, how long has this channel been around? And I think Para, you were one of the first in the chat right now. I think Para is the oldest to the channel. Am I wrong on that? Is there anybody that was here before Para? I think Baggins, you were around pretty early in the channel too. But I think I remember Para being around very, very early. And I think, did I start this channel 2016 or 17? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. So yeah, Para, it's kind of cool that you've been around for a long time. I can start saying things like, you know, way back when, or when we first started, back in the old days. Yeah, so I think, I'm pretty sure Para is the oldest. If you guys might have to, Oh, Ryan, were you here before? I'm trying to think. Maybe you guys can work that out to see who was here first, like when their first set was, or first song. But I definitely remember Para. Maybe it's because Para talked the most, because I would get like Para constantly asking me to listen to certain, like suggesting certain bands. And then when I would actually play one, he would get in the chat and pat himself on the back. It's pretty funny. And Para got me to listen to some good bands, so I'm glad you did. Way to get your voice heard. All right, let's get to song number 4, which is Trope. The band is called Trope, and the song is called Hyperextend. This next band opened for Haken and Symphony X. Could you imagine having like the history to be like, hey, we opened for Haken? Oh my gosh, it'd be so awesome. And Symphony X. On their tour last year, and I have to say that I enjoyed them more than either of the other 2 acts. Now that is apostasy. Ivy, you can't say that. The lead singer, Diana Studenberg, I think is how you say it, is an awesome stage presence and very cool to interact with on social media. I follow her on Facebook, and she's always really responsive to her fans. Oh, do you really like her? So far, the band only has 1 album. I do not know how to say this. Eleutheromania. Good luck on the pronunciation. Yeah, thanks. Obviously, I butchered it. But there's not really a bad song on the album. According to the band's Facebook page, they are currently working on their next album, which I hope will be dropping later this year. All right, so according to Ivy, this Trope band, the song is called Hyperextend, is better than Haken and Symphony X to her. Uh-oh. You're setting the bar high, yo. Here we go. Okay. Da-da-da.
Lift me up, then slip off the gloves till the walls came down. We respond around you.
I wonder if this... I must say, the YouTube algorithm or whatever, the copyright bug bot is picking up things a lot faster. It's like 10 seconds in and you get a fucking warning. Love these lower tempos, Ivy. I think that's been a very consistent part of the songs that you're picking. Oh, I didn't know Scott was a lurker, I guess, in the background of the channel. If you're a lurker and you've been around and you're listening to this right now, stop being a lurker and get in the chat and say some shit. Yeah, I think the slower tempos, Ivy, I'm totally digging. I love it. And I definitely, again, I don't think her voice is as good as the last one, but I like it better than the first 2. And I like that dumb bass. sound. Cucumber, I definitely liked heavy stuff at the beginning of the channel. I didn't like growling or screaming, but I still don't really like them. I just like them, or don't hate them as much as I used to. Thanks to Amon Amarth. Yeah, Dada. Dada. I don't like this as much as the last song, but it's definitely better than the other two, so I'm gonna say... Shit. Yeah, there's mine. 3, 4, 1, 2. Adrian has 3 above everything by far. Interesting. And me and Pear are on the same fucking page still. Was that the end? That was a really quick song. Yeah. All right. Very quick song. Liked it. And again, I've told you guys this many times. I just tend to like lower tempo, which is one of the reasons I do enjoy doom metal as like a genre more than maybe the other ones, especially the fast stuff, because it allows the balls to breathe a little bit more. When it's just fast-paced, balls to the wall, it's smashing your balls against the wall. It doesn't let them breathe a little bit, you know? And get that stank coming. I like lower tempos in a lot of stuff. Again, I've said this many times on the channel, but I haven't said it for quite a while, so I'm going to say it again. Both sides of the spectrum are really, really difficult to do. To play fast blast beats and like 32-second notes like on the 250 beats per minute, fucking impossible to do, really, really hard to do. On the flip side, really slow tempo in the pocket kind of playing, really, really difficult to do. But if I have to pick between the two, lower tempo, slower tempo, and more funky, soulful, bluesy, whatever you want to call it, music is harder to do than this. Because when things are whizzing by and things are crazy, yes, stamina-wise, impossible. And it's very much a feat to be able to do that. But if you mess up, most people are not going to hear it. Some people will, but most people won't. But over here, when you have like that space between each note where it's just like bum, 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 which Harry Connick Jr. has a song where that's the actual line. That like space in between, Dave Matthews Band, space between, is just so like you have to be in that mode to be able to like make that clean and soulful, and it's just so easy to speed that up that I think that that's harder to do. And if you fuck up, everyone hears it because there's enough space. So that's one of the reasons I tend to like slower and lower tempos, is because it just allows more things to like breathe, emotion as well. And that's why I think all the fast blast beats and stuff like that, it bleeds emotion out. And so I like that these songs tend to, Ivy, have more of a lower tempo, slower tempo that just really vibes a little bit more for me anyway. And you couple that with two girl singers in the last songs that I like better, because maybe it's not, I think it's because they're not as high pitched. I mean, if you think about it, what sounds better, at least for me, a high soprano one or a bass one? Like a bass, just that deepness. It's like a lion's roar versus like a... So I do think on a piano, middle C, and lower is just more appealing to the ear generally than that higher stuff. And I think the first two singers were a little higher, and these are just a little bit more grittier and lower, but that's just me. All right, let's get into the next one, which is Deep Valley, Bring It On. Isn't Bring It On like a movie? This rock duo, it's a duo, is actually formed by two women, Lindsay Troy on vocals and guitar, and Julie Edwards on vocals and drums. Very cool. While the band is considered a rock duo, I feel like there are definitely some bluesy vibes. I like bluesy. I was just talking about it. To their sound. I first heard this single in an episode of Warrior Nun. Don't judge me. I don't even know what Warrior Nun is, so everybody else can judge you. And I had totally zoned out of the episode until I heard this music playing. This is a bit different than the other bands in this playlist, but I hope you will still enjoy this sort of low, heavy groove. I just told you I like lower, heavy groove, so let's see what happens. Oh, we just listened to that. Sorry. Okay. Ow. Ow. I like it.
You might think I'm coming to the brink. I guess we'll see if I'll keep it all together now. Don't think you got the upper hand, 'cause I got no time for lines drawn in the sand. Bring it on.
Oh, it just went to warning and then stopped. That was weird. It's almost like it maybe thought it was a different song. Oh well, at least we don't have a warning yet. That's a weird, like Pink Floyd-y kind of like water echo.
Trouble ahead. It's getting dangerous.
Bow, bow,
It's never
bow.
far.
I like this. See, it's got some groove to it. And if that's her in the picture, definitely a little sexy, like, maybe me and Michael need to follow her on Instagram. Two, three. Whoa. I don't like the echoey effect, water echoey effect on her voice, but the rest of it I like. Oh, and that's a very catchy chorus. Or whatever it is. Background.
I don't care where you went or where you're going. Because I'm gonna show you where you belong. Don't matter how fast you're running, you can't stop me coming, you can't stop
Yeah,
me
this is
coming.
tough. I definitely think I like this better than the
So
last
bring
song.
it on.
I still like... This is tough. I still like 3 the best. Me and Para, a little bit. Oh, what's up, Feedy? Glad you're here. Glad you could join us. Scott K woke up from his slumber a little late, too. He was beaten off too much last night. Sent him into deep space. Bow, bow, bow. 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 Bow, now. Oh, that's an interesting end. All right. So yeah, as you can see, I think her voice was good. The only critique or bad thing about it that I don't like is that echo, watery sound. Like if you did it once, it'd be kind of like you sprinkled it in. Okay, that's cool. I can deal with that. But it was like just too much. It's like, okay, move on from that. But other than that, I liked her voice. It was like sultry, kind of good. The tempo was good, and I thought the down had some groove to it. And then I like that oh in the background. Very cool things. That's going on a playlist for sure. So right now, 3 and 5 are for sure going on a playlist for me, and then we'll figure out about the other one when I listen to it a second time. So we are at 49 minutes. Let's wrap this up with the last one, which is a band that we have had on here just a couple minutes ago. Trope makes its return again. This song is called Shout. Shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without a come on. Which, man, Tears for Fears had so many great hits back in the 80s. Shout was one of them. But this is a different Shout. The last song is another track off of Trope's debut album. This is a cover song. Is it a cover song of Tears for Fears? But I actually enjoy Trope's version better than the original, which is it the Tears for Fears one? For fun, I recommend that Cap not read the title of the song. You should have said that before. You know, I don't pre-read these before the set, so you should have said that before if you didn't want me to read it. My bad. Thanks everyone for welcoming me into the group and for sharing your music. And that is what she ends with. So, sorry to ruin that last one, but I'm gonna blame that one on you because you should have known that I was not gonna read. Or people, for the future, I don't pre-read these, partly because I don't have the time. And the other part is because, especially when some of you turn in sets that are kind of like interesting or whatever, I try not to ruin it for myself so that I don't have a note either, that I'm discovering it just like you guys are. Because sometimes you guys put some Easter eggs in there or whatever it may be. So I try not to read your stuff beforehand. Which is why a lot of times I don't have filters on stuff that I should have filters on. But anyway, here we go. I guess this is the cover song of Tears for Fears is what I'm guessing because it's called Shout. So here we go. Last one. Why does this have a filter on it? It might have just been luck that I had a filter on the last one.
In violent times, you shouldn't have to sell your soul.
Great song.
In black and white, they really ought to know.
So Disturbed also did a cover of this song? Wow.
That took you for a working boy.
Yeah, I think this already had a filter on it because I didn't put this on there. Let me take it off until we get a warning. Okay, if it comes back on.
Let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. They gave you life, and in return you gave them hate.
Cute. She kind of has a Jennifer Love Hewitt look to her. Well, not up close, but a little bit. From like afar. Like a Jennifer Love Hewitt. Hey, I'm gonna blame Ivy for this one. This one wasn't my fault. We'll take blame where I have blame, like accidentally hitting the wrong song, but...
These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on, shout. I'm talking to you. Shout. I'm talking to you. Shout. I'm talking to you. Come on.
This is definitely not better than the original, but this is a good cover.
I'm talking to you.
I like the harmonizations of the chorus in the back. Uh-oh, I think we've created a fight here that after the set ends, Ivy and Jason are gonna duke it out and then have good makeup sex. Okay, this part's good. I wonder how Tears for Fears feels about this. Let it go out.
These are the things I
Colin likes the variety.
I'm talking to you. Come on. I really wanna break your heart. I really wanna break your heart.
It's a good song, but yeah, true that, Scott. It might warp their view of the sound of it. Oh, we get paid a lot for every time it's played. All right, and that wraps up Ivy's first set. Ivy, I'm going to say for a first set, you definitely did well. And I like the fact that it was unique and that you brought your own kind of goggles with it. The fact that we got to hear some new girl lead singers. I would be interested in, I know Ashley isn't around, but it seems that Ashley and JBB don't tend to like girl stuff, although JBB tends to like it a little bit more maybe. So I'm interested, JBB, if you're still around, and Ashley, maybe in a comment if you see this later. Did you like these girls? Was there any girls that you liked more, or did you put them all in the same basket? Like, how would you girls feel about the girl power set as far as the singing is concerned? So I would be interested in that, and I would say definitely 3 and 5. I liked more of that gritty girl sound. I don't want to sound like guys, but I definitely like the more lower range girls than the higher pitch girls, which the exception to that would be Nightwish. Although even then, I get bored of it a lot quicker than if Nightwish was like maybe more in that mid range versus that kind of stuff. So yeah, Ivy, I do hope now that you've gotten your cherry popped with these girl sets, would it be that you would always have girl sets on here? Or if you did another set, I'd be interested to see how that set would be maybe different than this set, as this being your introductory set. But of course, make Jason pay for that. All right, so tomorrow we have Colin coming up, and Colin tomorrow. So I think the next 2 days, for those of you who are competitive, the next 2 days, Colin's set and definitely Baggins' set is very much a competition kind of thing to see how good you are, like get you interacting, which I think are very, very cool. Kind of ideas, again, very creative sets. I'm going to have to say, Colin, you have a run for your money because I don't know, and I haven't obviously gone through, and I'm trying not to read it because, again, I want to experience as much as I can like you guys do for the first time. But just looking at setting up the set for Baggins, I think Baggins might give you a run for the money for the most creative set we've had here on this channel. I mean, it's pretty creative. Which reminds me, Baggins, before you leave, dude, I wrote you an email because one of your songs, it won't let me download it. So you need to figure out how I can download that video or else it's not going to work for Monday night. So by Monday, Baggins, you got to read my email that I sent back to you so that you know. Did Baggins leave already? Huh? Baggins, you got to read my email, dude. You haven't responded to it yet. Okay, good. Yeah, make sure you read the email because one of the videos, for some reason, it won't let me download it. I'm trying to download it and it just keeps saying error, error, error. So keep that up. All right, we will see you guys here for Colin's creative set. See, I like to play on words. Mine is Casey's Counseling Corner or Captain's Counseling Corner, CCC. Colin's creative, and we got to come up with some other word other than set to make it C squared because Colin comes up with some great sets. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Later.